Well, we are just 7 days out, and Donald Trump has continued to make gains with Black and Latino voters more than any Republican in the modern era ever has. Kamala Harris has been working hard to win back those key demographics by putting out Barack and Michelle Obama on the campaign trail. Let's see, she sat down with Black podcasters. She brought in Lizzo, Beyonce, although Beyonce didn't sing at the rally. She spoke at Black churches, and then she's also doing Hispanic town halls. She's doing as much as she can down the home stretch, but is it working?
Yeah, absolutely. For more, let's welcome in founder and president of Buenavida U.S., Abraham Enriquez, as well as former White House and congressional spokesperson Harrison Fields. Good morning to you both. Harrison, I'll start with you. So she's starting to gain some ground with Black voters in just the last week, but, you know, there's a lot of polls out there. They're very close. Should we trust these polls that show mainly Black men are now wanting to vote for her? What are you hearing?
Yeah, I don't think there's a last-minute shift for Kamala Harris in the week we have left in the campaign. I think the fundamentals of the campaign, especially when you look at Black men, is that Black men and Hispanic men are increasingly moving away from the Democratic Party because they're asking a fundamental question. What has Kamala Harris done for me in the last 4 years? But what has the Democratic Party done for me over the last 70-plus years? And increasingly, the answer is nothing or near to nothing, and definitely not enough that they deserve my complete loyalty for me to wait in line to cast my ballot for them. And when you just look at the dollars and cents, more people in the Black community and the Hispanic community were better off economically under President Trump. When you look at their safety concerns, better off under Donald Trump. And then when they don't want raging wars overseas, you look at the foreign policies between the two candidates. Donald Trump brought peace to the Middle East and to the entire world. Kamala Harris has been a part of the disastrous foreign policy of this Biden administration. That's why Black and Hispanic men are moving towards Donald Trump.
So I want to bring this up. Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe spoke at Trump's Madison Square Garden rally the other day where he called Puerto Rico a, quote, floating island of garbage. The campaign put out a statement right away saying it does not share those views of Tony Hinchcliffe. Did this hurt Trump with the Latino vote at all?
If you're asking me, so my grandmother was born in Puerto Rico. Is it me or is it the other guest?
Both of you.
Take it, Harrison.
You go, take it first.
Well, I think it's really important to note that the campaign did disassociate themselves from the terrible joke. Do I believe it's going to affect President Trump? This close to Election Day, I don't. But I want to focus on the latter part of that statement where, you know, the spokesperson said it didn't reflect the campaign or the party's heart towards the Hispanic community. And I'd rather more so focus on what Republican leadership has done this election cycle. I look at Senator Rick Scott and his multi-Hispanic ethnic coalition that he has built up this entire re-election campaign. I look at Congressman Jody Arrington from West Texas visiting Tucson, Arizona, Brownsville, and even areas of New Mexico, areas where typically Republicans don't show up. I see how J.D. Vance did a town hall with us in Mesa, Arizona, just a couple weeks ago, geared toward Hispanic voters. And then I also see how President Trump has rolled up his sleeve and has visited cafecito shops in Miami or bodegas in the Bronx. This party has shown that they're giving the grand bienvenido to Hispanic voters. Where on the other side, you look at Kamala Harris and she's relying on these elite, out-of-touch celebrities to gather the votes for Hispanic voters. And so I think this close to Election Day, voters are able to divorce a out-of-touch comedian from where Trump's policies truly resonate with the Hispanic community.
Yeah, Harrison, what do you think?
Yeah, and to his point, he's exactly right. The Republican Party has rolled up their sleeves and has engaged in Hispanic communities in ways the Republican Party hasn't done before. My grandmother was born in Puerto Rico, in Nanguabo, Puerto Rico. She came here at the age of 11, took a bus from Miami all the way to New York City and started a life. They understood what it was like to face racism in this country in the 30s and 40s. My grandfather lived it growing up in Hell's Kitchen. But to be scolded for the Democratic Party that somehow I'm a sellout because I'm supporting Donald Trump is ridiculous. You look at the actual policies. Donald Trump, his administration hired me as an assistant press secretary working in the West Wing as a Black and Puerto Rican man. That happened under the Trump administration. And if you look at the policies, look at opportunity zones, look at the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Donald Trump made business investable in Puerto Rico again, and school choice was flourishing under the Trump administration. All things happened under President Trump. He is standing up for Puerto Ricans. He's standing up for all Americans.
So I want to ask you guys this. Harris stopped in Philly over the weekend. She went to a Black church and appeared to debut a brand new accent. Take a look.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh in the morning, and church morning is on its way.
Harrison, what is she doing? And Abraham, I want to get your take as well, because she did that again when she spoke to a group of Latinos just a few weeks ago. She seemed to debut a new accent favoring them. What do you make of this, Harrison? Does it work?
Listen, Black people don't do this. They don't. If you are a Black person, you go into a room and you speak the normal way. However you speak is how you speak. This crazy, cheap pandering that Kamala Harris does, and as you mentioned, it's also in the Hispanic community. I'm waiting for her to talk to a group of Asians, and she can have some type of Asian accent, too. It's absolutely disgusting. Hillary Clinton tried to do the same thing when she said she carries hot sauce in her bag. Trust me, as a Black and Hispanic man, you don't have to talk to me in an accent. You don't have to carry around Tabasco to gain my vote. I am going to vote for you based on the policies. Donald Trump doesn't do this type of pandering. The Donald Trump that he's in every single room is who we all know. And this type of pandering is why a lot of Black and Hispanic are saying, listen, you seem fake to me. I'm going with the real deal and Donald Trump.
Yeah, Abraham, what do you make of it?
Oh, Harrison hit it right on the head there. And I think the reason why President Trump has gained significant votes within the Hispanic community since 2016 and even leading up to 2024 is because he understands that pandering to a certain demographic actually negatively hurts you. And whether it's YouGov, Pew Research Center, or even the New York Times, Kamala Harris is poised to have the worst performance with Hispanic voters in a generation for a Democrat presidential candidate. And when the Hispanic voting bloc is the second largest in the country, 30% in Arizona, 30% in Nevada, a huge bloc in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Georgia, Democrats can't afford to lose the Hispanic electorate. So pandering like this is only going to benefit the Republican Party. And I believe that she's probably the best gift to ads across battleground stations when she does stuff like this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Abraham, Harrison, thank you guys so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Go vote.
Thank you.